Now, thoughts can manifest. No emotional energy. One day, Mary Ruth and I were driving along. And the thought came up. You know what? We really need toilet paper. What? You guys don't use toilet paper? The next thing you know, we pulled into the post office and checked the post office box. And there was a little yellow slip. It said 227. And that means you go to the front desk. We went to the front desk. There was a box. A box! How, I don't know. Anybody else have fun when you get something in the mail that's in a box? It's cool. We opened the box. And there was a roll of toilet paper in it. I swear to God. We need a roll of toilet paper. Boom! I love instant manifestation. It just almost never happens, but when it does, it's just like, oh man, that's so cool. I'm putting the car cover on my car. Well, my wife's car. Mm-hmm. She's got the pretty red convertible. Putting the car cover on the car. And have y'all ever put a car cover on a car? No. The thing about car covers on cars, they never stay on. I mean, this is the Central Coast. We get a little bit of breeze now and then. You know, it gets windy, so they never stay on. You put the car cover on, you go to the store, you come back, the car cover's half off, or it's floating down the street at my house. What you have to do is you have to take the car cover, and I got this from my neighbor. My neighbor's really good because he's a car guy. And he says the way you do it is you put the car cover in the door, and you close the door on the car cover. Do the same with the hood of the car and the trunk, and that locks it in. And that works. I love it when somebody comes up with a simple thing that works. So, I had a thought. You know what? You close this door, you're going to smash your finger. You don't watch what you're doing. It took 3 months for the nail to grow back. Instant manifestation in the negative. I've heard. You know, the nail goes black and you want to drill a hole in it so you can let the blood come out or something. I couldn't do that because it hurt too much. A thought and a manifestation. And there was some emotion tied to that puppy too, I'm telling you. There wasn't any real emotion to the toilet paper though.
Oh yeah, there was.
This magnificent tool we have, this greatest gift next to grace of thought in potential with emotion tied to it into manifestation. It just proves who we are. Mm-hmm. It just proves who we are. And I know that within each one in the room, there's something that they've had a thought of that is manifested. Mary Ruth and I manifested a restaurant. Literally, manifested a restaurant. We had a thought one day, you know, it'd be nice to have a restaurant. Good quality food that we could employ people at. To give them some income and give good food to the people. And 15 years later, well, yeah, about 15 years later, boom, there was a restaurant, just like that. Almost like the way I smashed my finger.
Not really.
Problem. They didn't complete the thought. Thought about the restaurant, thought about the employing people, didn't think about the nonsense that goes on in having a restaurant. Didn't think about the insanity of living in a restaurant 14 hours a day. Didn't think about all that stuff. Thought about one thing, got partial manifestation, boom, it came up, there it was. Oh man, you really got to think this stuff through. Because if you got the power to create, you got the power to manifest, you best think it through. We know what we have at a restaurant, by the way. Way too much like work.
Yeah.
Now, I've talked about thought. I've talked about feeling. And for me, these are two master keys. Master keys. Thought can manifest into the physical. Emotion is the tell. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't, knock it off. It's that simple. If the thought doesn't feel good, quit it. Stop the thought, think about something else. Oh, but I can't do that. Pink elephant, pink elephant, pink elephant. Anybody see a pink elephant? If it doesn't feel good, that's the key that God gave us to know when we're moving in a way that doesn't support who we truly are. If it feels good, think on those things. Now then, Langoliers. Langoliers is something that Mary Ruth and I picked up from Stephen King. Stephen King is a horror author. Well, Stephen King wrote a short story which turned into a movie called The Langoliers. Mary Ruth and I caught this on a Sunday after church and watched this show. It's not too horrific, but it is a little bit scary, a little bit dicey. The thing that it brought up was so magnificent, so huge for us, that it transformed the way we look at his story or her story. And the basic premise of the Langoliers is a group of people are flying across the country from LA to Boston. In the middle, they wake up. This is a plane load of people. They wake up and there's only 10 people left on the entire planet. Everyone else has disappeared. Gone. And these 10 people continue to fly to Boston. They get to Boston and the airport's empty. There is nobody else on the planet but these 10 people. Now, one of the people in the group is crazy. No, he's insane. Although he was dressed nicely in a suit. And he had a fear. I mean a terror of Langoliers. His father had placed within him at a very young age that Langoliers existed. And that Langoliers were these hairy, teeth-filled balls of hate that ate all the bad, lazy little boys. Come on, they come out, if you get lazy, you get bad, and the Langoliers come up and eat you. And not in a nice way. I mean, you're just gnashing of teeth, terrible, you're gone. So this insane person brings in the Langoliers for us. So now we have Langoliers. We have little, huge, teeth-filled ball monsters that eat bad little boys. So we're continuing to watch and going through its various gyrations. And the people realize that they have slipped through a rift in time. There was actually a tear in the fabric of the universe. And the answer is to fly from Boston back to LA, to fly back through the tear in time. Yeah, pretty good. I don't know. Anybody study sci-fi? I do a lot. So it's pretty cool. We now have 10 people in an empty airport. Nobody else on the planet. And they've realized they're in a time warp, and they're in the past. Not very far in the past. Just a short distance. Maybe an hour. In the past. And that nothing exists there, but no people exist there. And there's this empty airport. And they realize that in order to be back into their own time, they have to fly back through their rift in time. Okay. Does any of this make sense to anyone? Okay. Now then, they've realized it. And somewhere in the back, there's this noise. And they said it sounded like Rice Krispies and milk. And it's way off in the distance, and they can't register what it is, and it's almost not there, and then it gets louder and louder and louder, and they begin to really hear it. And they realize it's the Langoliers. These huge, hairy, ball-like creatures with nothing but teeth that are about to come in. And as you watch, you see it. You see the Langoliers. They're getting back on the jet, and they're going to try to fly out, and it's all intense. Of course, you know, they had to get the fuel going, all this stuff, had to figure it all out. And they begin to fly, and the Langoliers come in, and they start eating up the airport. Oh man, it's tense. I don't know. When I sit and watch a movie, I get tense. You know, when the bad guy gets hit, I jump. You know, the monster comes out of the corner, I jump. I feel it. So the Langoliers are eating the airport up. They get on the plane, they make it off, they take off to fly back through the rift in time, and you watch as the Langoliers literally eat everything. The entire airport, the runway, and finally everything just goes off into a nothingness. And they fly off, and of course, most of them survive. Point to the story, which is the revelation that came to us. I love the Langoliers because any huge ball of teeth that can eat up my past and make it into nothingness, I'm going for. The great revelation was, guess what? I can't live in the past. It no longer exists. It's gone. The Langoliers ate it up. So all that stuff, oh, my mom didn't treat me just right. Oh, you had the relationships I suffered through in my life. All those things that I would use to take me away from the joy of living in now no longer exists. A Langolier munched it up. I'm telling you, this was such a wonderful gift that we picked up from a Stephen King novel. What sense is that? But how miraculous would it be that I can walk into now, right now, because this is all it is. There is no future, there is no past, there is just right now. With joy and wonder, because I'm not stuck dragging around an illusion of something that no longer exists. I'm not wasting that love of who you are because I'm thinking about somebody you looked like 20 years ago that didn't treat me right. I can look at you now and know who you really are. This opportunity we have, thoughts that can manifest, emotion that can let us know which thoughts we should actually be thinking about, and then the realization that there's no past that I have to drag around. I can live right here, right now, in the joy of living a life that I've been blessed to be here to experience. Please know that I love each and every one of you because I know who you are. Peace and blessings.